Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I would like to talk about ChatGPT and how these new AI tools would benefit developers. Hi, my name is Hatam. I'm a software engineer for the past 8 years, and with these new AI tools that they are coming up for the developers, I feel it's a really good time to start coding and become a developer. As you know, currently there are lots of talk about ChatGPT and AI tools and how they would replace human job. But today I would like to explain you how these tools can be helpful and beneficial for your work. Not only that they are not a threat right now, on the other hand, they are very useful tools that can help your workflow. Most of these tools require human input so they can produce good output, and in most scenarios the output they created needs human touch to make it better or work. In some cases the output is full of bugs or errors and it cannot be used at all. So these are all reasons that I think they are not a threat, because at the end someone needs to check the code or someone needs to check their job and fix it and make it work. So ChatGPT is a tool by OpenAI which you can ask it questions and it will answer you as much as it can. All the information that ChatGPT has gathered is all dated before 2021. So ChatGPT is an acronym for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which it means it was pre-tuned by OpenAI employees and other people. ChatGPT is based on a language models that OpenAI is working on. The other AI tool that is very helpful for developers is Github CoPilot. Github CoPilot helps you write a small code snippet, or it will help you complete the code. And both of these tools produce a small code snippet, and if you ask them to produce large codes, most of the time they have lots of bugs or errors, or they are not efficient. It's possible the solution that they can give you is not the best solution that is out there, but what they are good at is to create a small code snippets to help you finish your project. By using these tools you can focus on bigger problems and general architecture of your project and application, and you can give the small task to these tools to perform for you. As I said, nobody without the programming language knowledge can use these tools and ask them to create a complete application for them. They are not capable, and most of the times there is bugs and error in the code. So here's where you as a developer come into place, and you can check the code, fix it up, or make it more efficient and then ship it out. Or you can use them to do the small boring task that you need to do for each project. As a developer, we are coming up with the architecture design and how the whole application and different parts should work together. Then we can give a small task to these AI tools. One of the example could be that you give them the task to get a CSV file from one directory, open it up and try to process it and put it into the database. Easily you can say that, for example, column 1 is ID, column 2 is a name, column 3 is a price or whatever, and they will try to map it for you. They are also very helpful when you want to learn a new language. You can ask these tools to give you a small description or explanation of different function in each language, although I prefer checking the documentation for each language. On the other hand, if you need more information regarding some functionality or how a solution can be made in some languages, you can ask these tools. Other example would be to ask these AI tools to populate database for you, so your application would be more like production environment with lots of data in the database. You can easily use these tools to create a small function like a class to make HTTPS calls to different APIs and to get the data back and save it in a JSON format. Lastly, we can ask them the old age question of how to center a div. GitHub is advertising Copilot as an AI assistant for developers. Most of the time these AI tools, they are very time efficient to give you some small code snippet for your project. But on the other hand, you need to make sure and be really careful that these codes that they gave you are error bug free and they are working properly. One of the other way these AI tools and ChatGPT can help us is to ask them question or problem that you have when you are writing a code and it doesn't work. As I said, the answer won't be very efficient or the best solution that you might like. Sometimes when you're working for a long time in one project with one specific language, and then you switch to another language, it might be a little bit hard in the beginning to get used to the old language that you knew. This way you can use these tools to give you examples of the different code snippet that you would like to write and get a feeling how you were working before. If you like this video so far, please like and subscribe and press on the bell notification so you will be notified when I release new videos about programming, software engineering and development in general. Okay, now let's go to my laptop and I will show you some examples that you can use it for. So first thing you do, you can open openai.com and on the top there's a try button that you can press. Then you will see this page for the login or sign up screen. Sometimes there are lots of traffic on the OpenAI website and it takes some time to get into the system. So you need to refresh the page every few minutes. Now you can easily go and sign up to create an account, or you can log in like me if you already has an account. I'm using my Google account to sign in. When you are signing, you will see this screen. It has some examples and capability of the ChatGPT and also the limitation that I talked to you about. So here you can start typing in the chat box and ask him different questions. For example, let's ask him how the Java array works. As you see, it will start to explain you the answer and even give you an example. So we can start to read from the top to the bottom and it will start to talk about how to create an array, how does it look like, how to initialize it, how to access different array element and so on. Or other question that we can ask him is that create a Python code to get a CSV file and put it into the database, or just show it on the page. So as you can see, it writes a code in Python for me to load a CSV file and read it. And also the good thing about the ChatGPT is that most of the times it will explain lines of code one by one and what each function or method does. Or I can ask him to create a class to populate some data in my Laravel application. So I asked him how to create a class to populate my user table in my Laravel application. What it does, it created a PHP class in Laravel environment and it has some users to populate these classes. Then as I said, it started to explain what it did. As you see here, it says that inside the populate user table method, the code loops count times and generate a random name and email address for each user. That's very good to know. Or other way around, I can ask him to create a JavaScript snippet for me to loop through a gallery of photos. As you see, it starts to write a HTML file with the CSS and also the script. You can copy it and run it on your browser and you will see that it has a gallery created. Let's check it out if it works. So let's copy the code and put it inside of my IDE and save it. Now let's open this page and see if it worked. So as you can see, this is the file that it created for us. It's a simple gallery for photos. What we can do, we can ask him to improve the code and add an option to enlarge each image. Now, as you can see in the code that it created now, the script of the JavaScript is much bigger, and also we have a new CSS classes called overlay. We can copy them again, put them back in our IDE, save them, and refresh the gallery. Now, as you see, I can press on images and it will show them to me. So as you saw, ChatGPT can also remember what you asked it before, so it can continue through that conversation. So for example, if you ask him about a very complicated matter like solid principle in object oriented, As you see, it starts to explain what is solid in object-oriented programming. So I know solid is a principle for object-oriented programming, and it clearly started to tell me what each one of these acronym of the word meaning. So single responsibility principle, open clause principle, list of substitution principle, interface segregation principle, and dependency inversion principle. Now I might ask him, okay, I don't understand the list of substitution principle, would you explain it? So now, as you can see, in the beginning, when I asked him to explain the solid, it tried to explain each part in one paragraph. But then I asked him, okay, can you explain the number 3 again? Even I have a misspelled the principal name, it recognized what I meant, and it wrote a few paragraphs to explain it in details. This is very helpful if you are not familiar with one subject in programming and you want more in-depth details. Whenever you ask him to fix a problem for you, you can ask him to explain it more, what its solution means and why it chose this solution. It won't be correct 100% of the time, but it's close enough to help us move along. Okay, these were few examples of how you can use ChatGPT in your day-to-day work as a developer and how to become a better developer. In my next video, I will try to integrate ChatGPT inside of an application. We will try to use the API connection, and also we are trying to use the libraries that is provided by ChatGPT. If you don't want to miss this video, please subscribe and press on bell notification. And if you liked my examples and this video so far, please like it as well. See you in my next video. Bye.